The TED Talk is here. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Typically, I save all my TED Talks for my community. I have a trading community, and we talk a lot about the psychology of being a full-time day trader and understanding, pain points and kind of why you're doing the things you're doing. But this TED Talk specifically is going to be about New Year's resolutions and setting goals and what that kind of looks like and why you need to stop setting New Year's resolutions. Yes, you heard me right, stopping the New Year's resolution negative loop. And we'll talk about why I think it's a negative loop. So this pertains not only to day traders, to everyday life, right? This goes into that, and we'll dive into that here in a second. But like I said, if you guys haven't hit the follow button, hit the follow button, and then let me know what you guys think at the end of this, and if this makes sense to who you are as a person. But one thing I want you guys to right off the bat start to think about is how many of you have been in the position where you know New Year's is coming and you consistently are telling yourself, I'm just going to wait till the new year. I'm going to wait till the new year. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to go to the gym yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep eating shitty until the New Year's. I'm not going to start a new program. I'm not going to learn how to trade yet until the New Year's. We've all done it, right? To say you haven't is a lie. We've all been there. We've all done this shit. We've all been like, no, I'll just wait. I'm just going to wait. And that's the first part, admitting that we've all been there. We've all done it. Okay. The second part of this is how many of us have set New Year's resolutions and not followed through on them, right? Almost all of us. And what does that mean for us psychologically? That creates a negative loop. Why do I say a negative loop? Okay, so let's break this down. If you set a goal for yourself at the new year, right? Or maybe you set a few goals. Maybe you tell yourself, okay, this year I am going to start eating healthy. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to learn how to trade, and I'm going to make, $40,000 by June. Okay. Now let's break this down. Say you've set all these goals for yourself in January. You get into January, you go to the gym a few times, maybe February you go a few more times, you start to kind of eat healthy. June rolls around. You haven't made the money you wanted to make. You haven't kept up with the gym. You started eating shitty again. Then, 6 more months goes by. It's December again. And you look back at the past year and you're like, I didn't do any of the shit I said I was going to do. I, didn't keep up with eating healthy. I didn't keep up with the gym. I didn't make the amount of money I wanted to make. What is that subconsciously doing for you? It's creating a negative loop because, hello, we're in December again. What are you doing again in December? You're waiting for the new year, and you're waiting to set these New Year resolutions, and you're waiting to start doing what you should be doing, right? So when we think about it that way and put it in that perspective, that ultimately is doing you a disservice, right? You're potentially harming yourself in the long run psychologically because you're not following through with what you said you were going to do. How do you change that? How do you overcome that? And maybe that's not you, and that's fine, and you don't need to watch this video. But if that is you, and I've been there, and that's why I said I had to stop making New Year's resolutions because it wasn't doing any good for me. If anything, it was hindering everything I was trying to accomplish for myself. So what did I do instead? I started making small goals that I could attain, and then from there, I would make bigger goals and then a bigger goal, right? And that's the same thing that goes for trading. When you start trading, it's like a game, right? You level up and then you level up again and level up again, right? That's how this works. That's how ultimately life works for a lot of people. And when you set goals for yourself and you constantly are not following through with them, you're constantly creating this negative loop for yourself that you never get out of. So again, how do we get over it? We start setting small goals for ourselves. We stop waiting until New Year's. Yes, I know we're only a short few days away, and I've been thinking about this for a while and wanted to bring it to socials and not just my trading community because I think it's helpful for a lot of us to kind of open our eyes to be like, damn, I was doing that, or I've been doing that. Okay, maybe I need to not set a New Year's resolution. Maybe I need to take January and be like, you know what? I'm going to set a goal for this month. I'm going to try to, take one trade a month or a day, one trade a day, right? I'm going to try to go to the gym twice a week, right? Goals that are attainable, goals that you can set for yourself and reach the goal. As soon as you reach those goals, something psychologically shifts within you and you are no longer lying to yourself and creating a negative loop subconsciously, right? It's kind of like we talked about, if you guys have watched some of my other videos about neuroplasticity, right? The ability to rewire your brain, the ability to stop, whatever is happening in your life and being able to change it, right? You don't have to be who you were yesterday. You don't have to be who you were 6 months ago. You can change that. You can change anything about your life. You don't have to wait till New Year's. You don't have to do these New Year's resolutions. You can start today. You could start tomorrow. You could start at the end of your workday if you're watching this at your 9 to 5, right? You don't have to wait for anything. Nobody's telling you you have to do these things. The only person standing in your way of changing, the trajectory of your life is you. So that's today's TED Talk, is essentially, if you find yourself being somebody who sets these goals and never attains them, starting fresh, creating a different routine for yourself, being able to take a step back and be like, you know what? No, I am going to start today. I am going to start in an hour. I am going to start at the end of my workday. I am going to sign up for that course. I am going to sign up for that gym membership. I'm going to stop going to fucking McDonald's, right? Like, this is possible. You can do these things. There's nobody standing in your way except for you. You're the only person standing in your way. And I am 100% proof of this. Why? How? I started over with absolutely nothing, you guys. Nothing. I had my clothes and my kids' mattresses. I had no furniture. I had no dishes. I had nothing. And I started my life completely over. And now I have absolutely everything I've wanted. Everything I've wanted, and I keep having to set new goals. I set new goals for myself and my family and attain those goals, right? If I can do this, so can you. So stop letting, all of these things dictate your life that don't need to. They don't need to dictate your life. You can change it. So let me know what you guys think of the TED Talk. If you want more of these, let me know in the comments. But if this isn't for you, then it isn't for you, right? I don't need negativity. Nobody needs negativity. But if you want to be positive and let me know how maybe you can start reframing and using, not using New Year's as an excuse, essentially, and just starting what you want, starting your life, starting fresh, starting today, starting in an hour. Don't let yourself stand in your way anymore. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope you have a beautiful day. Let me know in the comments.